guess we could call it Watercolor Wednesday, even though, well, that's with Gracie. She does watercolor. With every other Wednesday is me. Next week will be me, and then every other Wednesday is her, and then me. And so this Wednesday, even though she kind of does mixed media, she usually kind of adds something to the watercolor. And today she's doing some botanical type subject. And thank you, everybody who's in the chat waiting. Thank you. That's always wonderful to see all the different people. That's Ian Jackson, Goswina, Chrissy Canvas.
Hello.
Yes, they've been waiting in the chat before it even started. I love seeing that. People waiting in the chat before it even starts. Awesome. And
me too.
Okay, let's put her on the big screen.
Oh,
that
it is so happy.
They look nice. Those chairs look unbelievable.
Nice. Thank you. And I did it on watercolor. Thank you. And I drew around my palette here, around my circle, and I thought I'd make a little bit of a round watercolor paper.
Oh, I see.
But instead of going out and buying already cut round watercolor paper, I said use what I have. So that's what I did. And some botanical pieces, like still life, like fruit, mushrooms, all those kinds of foods, I think they look really cool, like on a circular paper, rather than just, you know. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm going to teach you a little bit today about how to get highlights in fruit. You can do the same technique with grapes. And I'm going to show you how this here is called a bloom, a watercolor bloom. And if you look at a cherry and you look at that, that's really quite good for contrast, because you know they're very rich coloured, aren't they? Cherries, they're real rich.
Yes.
It's kind of I've got an exact colour paint here. Like a real good cherry. This is my professional palette, Diana. This is I did what Mr. Jackson suggested and put different brands of professional watercolor in one palette. So this is made up of Holbein, Sennelier, and a new company to me. I've never used their product before. Have I got it on my desk? I might have put it away. Let's see. Oh, I have it right in front of me. This is a new company to me. It's called Rosa Gallery, and I bought 2 lots of titanium white watercolor just to give it a try. So there's a new edition. Right. Are you going to do like a bow call or
a what?
How are we going to? Have we said hello to everybody?
Let's see. I think, yeah, there's nobody new that came in. Ian's here, Goswina, Chrissy Canvas. That's it. Hello to you guys. That's all that's here so far.
Thank you, guys. So we're painting cherries today. And there's another technique I'm going to teach you again with the wax resist for the highlights in the cherries. So it's watercolor blooms, highlights by dry brushing. So I'm going to show you how to do the dry brush technique, and I'm also going to show you how you use either your wax resist sticks or your candles for creating a bit of a highlight on the top or on the side. So yeah, so first things first, I'm going to draw a circle around my palette, and then I'm going to cut my paper, and then I'll start drawing the cherries. Do let me know if I'm talking too quick, Diana.
Okay. No, you're not talking too quick. You type too quick. Typing is okay. It seems like you read the comments too quick.
Oh, I know. Speedy Gonzales. Yeah, so there's my cherries. So it's kind of a basic shape. What we've got is It's sort of a half a round circle, and my cherries are quite plump. It's sort of a heart shape at the top, half a heart shape, and then it's all rounded off. So that's really cool. And then you've got your stalks, and I put a bit of gold, metallic gold watercolor for the stalks, because I thought that looked kind of nice and shiny. Because cherries, actually, if you look at cherries, they're quite shiny, aren't they, Diana? Cherries.
Yeah, cherries are very shiny.
Grapes.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, if you look at a cherry, if you've got a cherry in your fruit bowl at home in the kitchen, there's probably not much contrast in them, really. So I kind of went to town on making it really, really contrasty.
Yeah, that I like that better than just using like one shade of red, like one shade of dark red. It's good you have other shades of red in there.
Yeah, what I did was I used this is White Nights, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. All right, I took care of that.
That's okay. So what I did was I've used my White Nights. Some of my White Nights watercolors are in this palette too. And this is a very nice cherry colour. That one there is a sort of violet purpley kind of colour, and then I've mixed it with a bit of red.
I don't know how I have CC going on. CC meaning they're putting in word, they're putting in writing what you're saying. I have not even set that up. Closed captioning where they're putting in writing right at the bottom of the video what you're saying. I wonder how
that's strange. I've never had
that happened. Okay, that's a good thing. Actually, that's a good thing, but I didn't set that up. Very interesting.
No,
find out how that happened.
That's really weird. I've never had that. I don't think.
This is the first time I've ever seen this. And I didn't even sign up for this. I mean, not sign up. I didn't even set it up.
I was just deleting an unwanted email. Why is it when you're doing stuff, like if you're painting on a video, you either get a phone call or somebody emails you? Right, no then. So I'm just going to show you guys how to draw the outline for the cherries. And I've done my cherries quite big. I'm quite a biggish, because cherries in real life are only about that big. They're only quite small, about that big. So I'm going to start, and I'll draw a bit darker for you guys so you guys can see easier. So I think you guys can just about see. Don't worry, I'll be painting them anyway, so we don't really need a ton of detail. And I'm quite a loose. I like my.
Chrissy says she cannot see the CC, but I am seeing it. Oh, maybe it's only for me. Oh, I know under like all these different icons. One of them is CC at the bottom of the video. One is settings. One is for enlarging the screen. All these different icons. And I see there's a red line under CC. I must have pressed it. That must be for my own viewing. That's not for public. That's not CC for closed caption for the public. That's only for my own viewing. Because Chrissy cannot.
What's that then? Is that like
Chrissy cannot. I never knew that existed. So Chrissy can't see it, but I can see it. I never knew that existed. Okay.
Right. Back to cherries. There we go. I'm just closing down something that I forgot to close down beforehand. But everybody like the new layout that I've got on my table? I have been really
that looks good. Yes, it looks good.
Thank you. I've been really working the last couple of days just to try and get it, suitable for everybody, so you guys can see, hopefully. And
Jayden Suh is a valued channel member, and his channel link's down below. Shout out to Jayden Suh, And Gracie Shack also on our guest artist. She's also a Value Channel member. Both of their links. Well, Gracie's link is in there twice because up near the top because she's the guest artist, but again down in the bottom in the list of channel members. So shout out to Jayden Suh channel who he likes to share his TikTok music videos, especially of Asian musicians, and then he likes doing live streams where he helps build community. So that's shout out to Jayden Suh's channel. And and Gracie right now is pretty much you're not making content, you are a viewer, right? What's the word? Not viewer. There's another word for it. Until you start making content again, you are a
I see what you mean.
There's another word for it. When if you're not a content creator, you're called a viewer, or there's another word for it.
I know what you mean. I can't quite think of it either. So what we're going to do now is going to put our water down on the paper, and you can tell when it's evenly distributed, the water, when it's clear, when it's got like a shine to it, when you look at it, and I can see a shine there, so that means that that's all even now. You don't need any more to add it on the first layer. Now this is your paper, Mr. Jackson.
Ian says life is a bowl of cherries.
It certainly is. And there's that, you know, funny you should say that, because yesterday I said, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I like that one.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good one. I like
that. Could be a motto for my life. I often do that. I've often done that. When given lemons, I make lemonade.
Yeah. So this is the White Knights, Diana. And look how juicy that paint is. Can you see how pigmented these paints are?
Okay. Wow.
They're quite incredible.
But that does not mean they're opaque.
You know, the colours of them.
But that doesn't mean they're opaque.
They're not. They are quite transparent. Any of the professional brand of watercolours that you buy will be more transparent than, say, the cheaper watercolours. I'm not sure.
But the fact that they're creamy, the fact that they're creamy, oh, sorry, God. The fact that they're creamy makes me think they're going to be opaque. You're saying they're not opaque. They're translucent. They're transparent.
That's it, yeah. They're very transparent and they're easy to lay down on the paper. You don't get any weird kind of... because like sometimes with the cheaper brands, you can have like splotches of like paint. When as soon as you lay the paint down, you can get like these tiny little kind of, almost looks like little melted paint, but you don't get that with the professional brand. So, but you know, not everybody can afford really expensive paint, so it's a bit.
Oh, hello, Paul's blue. Hello, Paul's blind for the soul.
Hello, Mr. Paul. Nice to see you. Now then, this is one of my favourite techniques ever. I love this technique. This technique is really, I find the wax resist stick real fun. Now, it's quite funny now. I've got a big candle and I've got a thinner candle. Now, if I had a bigger object to paint, I would use the bigger candle because it'll cover more area. But considering this is just a small botanical piece, I'm going to use the long candle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the end of the candlestick, and I'm just going to literally scribe it with the candle, and then that will act as a barrier against the paint. And then when you see me go over that area with the paint, hopefully it will give us a little black highlight in the cherry. Can you guys see that happening there? See that little bit of wax resist there happening?
Oh, that's hard to say.
So it's really cool, Diana. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've done a lot of wax resist. I've done a lot of wax.
As soon as it starts to dry. Yeah, and I love the candles. I would have gone out and bought some of the wax resist crayons, but I thought if I've already got some cheap candles at home, I don't really need to go out and buy. Now, if it's warm weather where you are and you have watercolors, sometimes they get a bit gloopy in the heat. They get a bit thicker. So what I do is I upcycle a spray bottle. This is just a kitchen cleaner spray bottle for Marks and Spencer's, Ian. And I cleaned it, obviously, and then I put in some tap water. So what you do is to activate your paint, and this is what I love about watercolor, Diana. All you need is water to spray on your paint. You don't need any solvents, just water. So I'm just going to spray a little bit there and a little bit on my red. I think I'm only using 3 colours in this piece. So bear that in mind.
3 colors? You're only going to use 3 colors?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's quite a limited palette for me. So whilst we're waiting for this one to dry, I'm going to start putting in the stalks. So I'm just going to go in. So they're just a curved line, and then they've got like a little hot dog shape on the end of the stalks. And I thought if I use quinacridone gold, I thought that would be a really nice shiny, you know, to match the shiny cherry. There we go. So I'm all organised today, Diana.
They're talking, that's good. They're talking about an interference, sound interference. It's because of me. And I'm saying it possibly could be because of the fan inside my computer is making this noise, which I can't, that's like, that's disturbing to hear that noise would actually be interfering with a live stream. Just the fan inside my computer is actually making a disturbing noise for the live stream.
Yeah.
That's all I can think it is.
Yeah. I turned my fan off actually because I'm not talking.
This fan I cannot turn off. It's a fan inside my computer. I cannot turn this fan off.
Me and computers, I tell you, I'm not very good with computers, to be truthful. So I'm going to rinse Mr. Brush off. Now, I can't say this enough for beginners. My water bucket, all I got for my water bucket is a jar of water. And you need 2 jars, one for dirty water and one for clean water. And I'm a big believer in rinsing your brushes off really, really well in between dipping into paint. So I'm going to wet my little stalk. I'm just going to drop the water over, like that. And then I'm going to get my gold colour. Now this one is a Van Gogh. I found a couple of loose paint tubes, Diana, so I thought I might as well use what I have at the moment. And this one's student grade. It's Van Gogh and it's a deep gold colour. So I'm just going to take the top off, paint tube. I'm going to pop it in my lovely Holbein palette. And then I'm just going to pop it in there. We're not going to need much, just a little bit, like so. And as you can see, it's much used, and I use this. Actually, yeah, Van Gogh are a very good brand if you're a beginner. They're a perfect one to go for. So, has anybody got any new artwork in the chat? Is anybody working on anything new?
Okay, I'll let you know in a minute. Just a minute.
Take your time. Whatever you're doing, take your time. And guys, I'm not being rude, but I can't see the chat because because I think I have like I'd be like panicking about reading the chat and doing the painting. So I'm not ignoring anybody. I literally can't see, and that's why Diana's being very kind in reading the chat. Thank you, Diana.
Well, that you read the chat for me every other Wednesday. I read the chat for you. All right, let's see what.
Yep, carry on.
Let's look back after Diana, see if you can figure it out. If it does it again, screenshot the time. Oh, you guys don't continuously hear it? The sound went. Let me see. The sound. No, my fan's still going on inside my computer. So you guys don't hear it anymore?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry. It's just one of those things.
Oh, Ian says he's not getting much artwork done. Ian says he's not getting much artwork done. Gaswina Gaswina says she's been trying to be busy figuring out OBS.
Oh, Gaswina, that is hard. I have heard that's really hard to do.
And Chrissy says she's been working every day on art and filming.
Yay. Cool, and nice.
Ian says he's working on building his guitar.
Yeah, I noticed you said, I think I caught the, yeah, Facebook. Yeah, that's really cool, Ian. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you made guitars. That's really cool.
You didn't know he's currently working on one?
No.
Yes, not for a while now. He's been currently working on one.
That is just so cool.
And here's Paul going to join us on the chat. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Paul.
How's everybody doing?
How are you? Okay, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Very good. I like your rings there on your hand there, Gracie.
Sorry, what was that? I'm gonna have to turn my
your
computer
rings
off. I think I've got it on mine. Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's I've had them a while and I forgot about them. Isn't that always like me? That's like me in art supplies. How's Lisa? Has she got any new artwork or?
Well, she did that one on Ian Friday, but yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing all right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
You should do that again sometime, Diana. Something like that maybe.
Yeah, like the celebration.
So I'm just
the art challenge, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we were thinking of maybe doing it every 6 weeks to maybe every other month.
Yeah. Good idea.
Hello, Madonna. Hello, Born
Is
to
it
Be
really hot where you
Madonna.
are? Hello, Madonna. Is it hot where?
Yes. Hello, Madonna. Hello.
Hi, Madonna.
Mid 80s, Gracie.
Ooh. I'm melting here, Mr. Paul. It is absolutely horrendous.
Oh, we are having very hot and humid weather for a long time now. We just always have hot and humid weather.
Yeah, I don't like it. You can't please us English people for weather. Does Mr. Jackson want to come up on panel?
Oh my God, that's gonna be like Ian Friday. Anyway, Gaswina says it cost. She's saying to you, to Gracie, it cost her 1.5 hours to do OBS with 3 cameras.
Oh,
man,
she's gonna have a camera on her. She's gonna have a palette camera and a camera on her canvas.
Wow.
The same thing that Chris.
You're braver than I am.
The same thing.
You're braver than I am.
Gaswina is getting fancy.
She is. She's getting very technical. Much more technical than me. I'm hopeless.
Gaswina knows how to figure those things out.
Yeah. Oh, good.
She's
Well, I'll
the
tell
one
you
in
what,
her house
Katrina.
that. Never mind.
Uh-huh.
She's the one in her house that actually installs things like a TV, like knows how to install things like a television on the wall. Instead of her husband, she's more technical than her husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like my kind of
Just
women. I
sometimes.
don't want to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
Will's a lucky man.
He is, yeah.
Ian says no, he'll stay in the chat for today.
Okie dokie. Well, today's been
That's
a lot
right.
better day than yesterday.
That's right, Ian. You need to stay in the chat. You need to stay where you belong.
Yeah. So I'm just going to add a bit of red now, just to give a bit of colour variation. I'm getting all the art lingo now, Paul. Ooh.
You're getting the what?
You know, the art lingo. You know, I'm kind of like contrasty and you know,
Oh, yeah.
all these little words that we all know. Can we see how shiny those cherries look? They almost look quite real, don't they? Almost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if my hand does cover up a bit of my painting, but that's kind of.
I have some cherries in the fridge right
It's
now.
kind of hot.
They're a reddish yellow color.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they do. You can get sort of yellowy reddish ones with a bit of yellow in them. I know some artists might not like doing still life. They might find it a bit boring, and I can completely understand that. But for weeks and weeks and weeks, since about April, I've really like challenged myself to painting things that I probably would never have painted. So it's nice just to sit down and not stress about painting. Because botanicals, actually I find botanicals a lot easier than like the Ian Friday last week. I thought that was quite a difficult painting to do for me. But you guys did an awesome job.
I never understood still life in painting, because when you paint something, let's say like there's a runner running, technically that's not still life, but the painting is not moving, so it's still. So I don't understand that still life.
No,
Well, because you're painting something that's moving, even though it's not going to be moving in your picture, you're actually painting something that is moving. Whereas a still life, you're painting objects on a table that are sitting still.
So why is it harder?
A still life? I don't know that many people think still lives are harder. I don't know.
No,
that's
the other way.
That's all personal preference of who thinks a still life is hard. I don't think a still life is hard. That's not difficult.
No, I meant the other way.
It depends what level you're at. It does kind of depend what level you are. If you're a beginner, advanced, or what it is you do actually like to paint. Because some people specialise in a certain subject. There's a lot of botanical artists out there that just paint nothing but butterflies and plants and flowers. But I'm a bit more like Mr. Jackson as an artist. I try and paint different things if I can. I mean, for me, it doesn't always work out the way I want it to, but at least I gave it a go.
Hello, J-Dog1 Party. Great seeing you.
Hello. I'm just going to go into my gold colour. This is one of my favourite palettes, guys. This is my whole body.
And hello, Pittsburgh Art Studio.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Ooh. I think
hello, Carolyn to be free. Carolyn to be free is here. Hello.
Hello, hello. And with it being
Gaswina's
sort of
putting in.
semi-lockdown. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, carry on.
It's okay. I'm just saying, Gaswina's doing a navigation in her car, a setup. She's gonna set up the telephone in it. Nice.
Wow. I wouldn't have a clue, Edwana.
Many talents.
I don't know
Many
anything.
talents Gaswina has.
I can, yeah, absolutely. So now, in terms of what I use to erase in my artwork, I always use these erasers because, particularly on watercolor paper, you don't want to damage the texture of the paper if it's cold press or rough. So what you want is you want a really nice eraser like this, and it's really, really soft on the paper, so you're not going to get any kind of, damaging the texture. And I always use one of these. This is nothing fancy. It's just an average thick mechanical pencil, and I usually put them quite a long way down, because I find it easier to to draw. And when I draw things like this, I want to be quite sort of loose with my drawing. So I'll just kind of go around. I like loose organic sketches rather than sort of overworked sketches. Am I making sense, people?
Yes, and yeah, organic and loose. I understand organic and loose as opposed to tight and technical. Born to be myself. Just wanted to make sure. She said, "Tell Diana, tell Paul and Gracie hello from Born to Be Myself." That's Alicia.
Hello, Alicia.
Hello, Alicia.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense. The lighting.
Uh-huh.
So we were talking about the weather. Madonna, I know you're in the chat. You're not too far from me. You're a little further south, but I don't think you were affected by Monday's storms. But we had what you call a derecho. Derecho is like a widespread storms with wind gusts up to 80 to 100 miles an hour with sustained winds for 60 mile an hour for hours. And Lisa and I got stuck on the interstate driving home from the ophthalmologist, my ophthalmologist, a routine checkup, and we were on our way back, and we were on the interstate, and we started hearing some noises, and we thought maybe, it was one of the semi trucks going by. Sometimes the bearings in these 18-wheelers, they sound high pitched. So we heard this noise, and then it went away, and then we heard it again, and it went away. And Lisa says, "I think that's a tornado siren." And I rolled down the window, and I could just barely hear it while we're driving on the interstate. That's the first time I ever heard tornado sirens on an interstate. That was crazy.
That would be really scary.
Yeah, and was really creepy driving home. I was about 35 miles out away from my home still, and all those storms were hitting my neighborhood and everything around it. And it was black as the ace of spades, the sky in the middle of the afternoon. And then there was this hint of green. It was creepy. Well, I'll tell you what, Lisa's a good driver. We had outer bands of the storm hitting the interstate. Thank God we didn't have the direct hit, but we had the outer bands, and I don't know how she could see where she was going. But my truck went right through that stuff like knife through butter. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's scary. I can imagine. They've had a tornado in the UK in the middle part of England. It's called Birmingham. It's in the West Midlands area, and it was quite weird seeing one like in this country because we don't really get that kind of thing over here. But yeah, I can imagine that being
Yeah, and you know what? It dawned on me after the fact. I should have brought out my phone and started recording. I could have put it on my channel,
Yeah.
but I wasn't even thinking.
You were thinking, just get the heck out of there.
No, you know what? It was scary, but I love storms, so I was excited and didn't think about recording it. You know.
Yeah. It looks like I might get a lightning storm here. It looks a bit stormy sky at the moment.
We have a question for Gracie from Chrissy.
Okay.
Chrissy says, "Will you be doing another layer on the cherry?"
I may do. Yes, I may. Yeah, because they're looking good. You see, I find botanicals quite easy compared with, say, a lot of. But actually, I do like painting oceans. Oceans are fun. And I quite like doing mountains as well, mountain landscapes. I'm just having a sip of water here, so. No Jack Daniels today.
Yeah, you can't fight Mother Nature, Chrissy. That's for sure. That's what fascinates me. The planet and just the weather. It's incredible force. So strong.
So I'm going to put the hairdryer on just to speed up the drying process so I can put another layer on. So
How many cherries are you painting? Gracie, how many cherries are you painting?
Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5, but I can always add on if I want to. But we'll see how it goes. I'll see how it looks, when it's dried and everything. So I'm just going to crack my lightsaber on.
Yes, Ian. Lightning storms. I love them. Those are my favorite. I should have went to college and became a meteorologist and been a storm chaser. That would have been a fun life.
Oh, Carolyn said they had a bizarre earthquake there, a bizarre earthquake there a few days ago.
Where at?
North Carolina.
Oh boy.
Oh. There we go. Good. I'm just gonna show you guys this new paper that I've got. Mr. Jackson recommended the Clairefontaine paper. This is an A4 pad of watercolor paper. I have there 100% cotton paper, which is the professional brand. This is 100% cellulose paper, but it's very good. It's very it's low in price, this particular paper. This was only £6 in UK money, so that's a pretty good deal. And you get 12 sheets. Comes in cold press, hot press, and rough, so that's good. It's A4, and I can't pronounce the name of it. Eteval, Etival. I assume that's how you say it. So if you can grab some of this paper, I highly recommend it. And it's quite thick paper too. It's almost like card in terms of thickness. So it's kind of similar to Archer's. It's not as good as Archer's paper, but for like practicing or whatever, you can't go wrong with that one. And then I have the slightly more expensive. It's the same brand, It's Clairefontaine. I think that's how you pronounce it, Fontaine. So if I turn it over so you guys can see, this is cold press again, and it's A4, and these come in loose sheets. They come in pre-cut A4 sheets, which is really, really good. So you don't have to, like, you know, tear down any big sheets of paper. And they come in all sizes, A3, A4, don't know about A2. So, yeah, so, and you get 50 sheets. Now this was slightly pricier paper than the other one I just showed you. This was £22 in UK money, but considering you get 50 sheets, you know, it's going to keep you going a while.
Oh, we have a question from Carolyn. We have a question from Carolyn.
Okay.
She wants to know what are the benefits between cold press or the hot press?
Okay.
Oh, can I answer this one?
Of course you can. You take it away, Paul.
Mr. Ian Jackson taught me this. I'm so proud of it. So, okay. Carolyn, cold press is more bumpy paper. There's like, it's not as smooth, so it takes on the watercolor better, and it's better for blending. Where if you don't have a lot of blending in your painting, you can use the hot press, which is a little more smoother. And then they even have something in between cold press and hot press, which is called knot, which is like a combination of both.
Yep.
I'd like to add to that. I'd like to add to that a hot press, you can do blending on hot press, but I suppose it's a little bit harder than on cold press, but it is possible. I've done blending very successfully on hot press.
Ooh. What do you have to say, Ian, about that?
It's not that it's impossible to do blending on hot press. It's just saying it's easier on the cold press.
Yes, I'm new to this, Caroline, too.
I absolutely hate hot press paper. It's all about personal preference, paper, paint, brushes, any of that. And the only way you actually learn which surface you prefer to paint on is by literally, you know, just trying different papers. And then I highly recommend that if you find a paper that you like and it works well for you, no matter what surface it is, whether it's cold press, hot press, or whatever, stick with that brand, because, you know, I probably wasted a little bit of money in the beginning trying papers that weren't any good. But then I started, actually, I highly recommend if you're a beginner, instead of buying the cheap papers, I buy them in loose sheets like these ones. This one is Arches, and this is what you call a loose sheet of paper. You know that really big sheet of paper? I don't know if you guys can see that on camera right now, but it's a huge, massive piece of paper, and you can tear them down to any size that you want. And they're just a little bit bigger. I think they're about A3 size, and you can buy them one by one. So you can use, you know, you can use the Artist grade quality papers, but buy them open stock, so you can dip into which one you. Am I making any sense here?
You know,
that's perfect sense. There's nothing confusing about that.
Thank you.
If I was an artist, I would paint a storm. That would be good. That'd be a good, you know, like a tornado or something coming, a storm front coming. That would be really cool to paint. I would imagine you would use cold press for that if you were doing watercolor.
No. This is my little palette that I've had, Mr. Paul, since last summer. This is my white gouache. I always use white gouache instead of Chinese watercolor because it's not vibrant enough, the white part for highlights. I've had this paint on this palette since this time last year, and all you do to activate the paint, because it's gouache, it's water-based, so it's like watercolor in that sense that it's water-based. All you do, take your upcycled spray bottle, and then you just literally squirt the water into your paint, and hey presto, like magic. I mean, isn't that really cool that that's all you need to activate the paint? You don't need any solvents. All you need is water.
Hello,
Yeah,
Just
that's very
Teresa.
cool.
Welcome, Just Teresa.
Right, I'm just gonna put in a few highlights.
Almost looking good enough to eat.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, and it's quite a good topic, isn't it? Because it's summer and people eat, you know, like watermelon, cherries, you know, when it's hot weather. What else? Strawberries.
You know what? The
Would be a fun
strawberries, I don't know about you all, but this past year they've been a lot. They've been kind of bitter. I've tried all kinds of different brands, and the strawberries are not good this year.
Oh, I didn't know.
I give up on eating peaches. Anytime you get, unless you want to go to a fruit stand, I guess you could get decent peaches there. But in the grocery store, the peaches are always hard. And then when they ripen a little bit, they're all mealy. They're just, I give up on. I've tried them over and over again.
Oh, I tell you what, I planted some lemon seeds into a pot, quite a big pot, plant pot that is, and it's a tree. It's amazing. I mean, they're sort of thinnish trees, I suppose, but to actually grow your own lemons is actually quite cool. So I'm glad I put peppers in as well. I put some pepper seeds in, and do you know what? They've done really, really well, and I'm surprised because in England we don't really get hot weather, so I was a bit, are they going to grow? But because it's been so hot and humid here, they've really done well. So that's really good. Did I tell you guys that I got my quail birds lately?
Yes,
I
told
actually
me.
have them now. You ever had quail's eggs, Mr. Paul?
Quail eggs? No.
Yeah. Oh. They're a bit small, but they're quite nice. I'm just kind of just dabbing on the white gouache, and if I hold it up to the camera, you guys will be able to see those little white highlights. It kind of looks like frosting. It kind of looks like they've been in the fridge for a bit or something. Oh, do you know, it's
So
nice
what
just to sit
are
here
your
and
white
paint something.
highlights? Are you making them with gouache?
Well, I've done it in a few ways. I've done it with the wax resist for the first layer.
Yes.
And then I've decided to go with the white gouache as well, just to help it along with because the more layers that you do in watercolor, the more vibrant you're going to get the colors with the more layers that you do. So yeah. And I'm just I'm taking the paintbrush and I'm just kind of dabbing on. Dab, 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 like that. Oh, I sound like Bob Ross.
We have a comment from Carolyn. She says she loves the sounds quails make.
Oh, they're lovely, Carolyn. They're really nice people there.
What kind? How does
Yeah.
work now, you know?
Well, I built myself an Sorry, it's me. I tend to interrupt when I'm on panel. Sorry, guys.
The question was for Great Paul. Your question was for Gracie.
No, it was for you. What does a quail sound like?
I don't know. Carolyn says she loves the sound quails make. I didn't say that.
No, I know that, but I want to.
I don't know what sound they make. Ask Gracie.
They're kind of I don't know. So, I'll tell you what, I'll do a video because I might actually film them because they're kind of, they're nothing like chickens or pheasants. They're just sort of like, almost like a chirping kind of. I'll do a video, Cameron. I should really do a video, but I've had a few bad days on YouTube lately, so I haven't been.
I just like to get Diana to make a noise like a bird because she already sang today live on a Facebook book that we're involved in together.
I never heard a quail, so I don't know.
I should do a sound. What are they called? Are they called sound bites? I should
You
do
can Google it. You can Google it and find out the sound.
Yeah, that's right, Diana, and that's right, Chrissy, and you're both sounding like Lisa now. Just Google it.
Carolyn says it is similar to a dove sound.
That's
I like dove sounds.
That's the bird that I was trying to.
Yeah, I like theirs.
They're soft. I know it's hard to believe, guys, but when I'm on panel, sometimes I either get like a mental block or you forget what you're going to say. So bear with me. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. No.
I tell Lisa all the time, I don't need to Google it. I've got you.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I remember the days when people used to come around your house trying to sell you encyclopedias. Do you guys remember those days?
I remember having encyclopedias, but I don't remember the salesman coming to the house.
Yes, Carolyn, ask Alexa. But I ask Lisa. That's what I do. Hey, Lisa. That's what I say.
Lisa is his girlfriend. Carolyn, Lisa is his girlfriend. It's not like he has another name for Alexa. It's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Another name for Alexa. Do you know what? The only reason
I don't say, hey, Google. I just say, hey, Lisa. And she's like, what? And I'm like, what's up with blah, blah, blah? And she goes, Google it. And I'm like, I'm not Googling. I'm asking you.
Yeah. See, us women do come in handy for some things, you know. Yeah. The only reason why I keep Alexa is because she plays rock music. That's the only reason why I keep her.
Oh, not poor Lisa, please. She has it made with me.
Yes.
9 times out of 10 every morning when she goes to work, 9 times out of 10, she has coffee made and usually breakfast with it. She's got it made. Poor Lisa. Give me a break.
Poor Lisa.
It sounded like you said she's got it made and you're the maid.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Oh, man. Whoops, the daisy, I knocked the camera. Sorry, guys. I either drop things on camera or I actually knock the camera. But there we go. Oh, where did I put my 2 titanium whites? Here we go. I don't know if Ian's heard of this brand of watercolor. They're a new brand to me. They're a professional brand. They are called. Can you guys see that? Where's the camera? There it is. It's called Rosa Gallery Watercolor, and I bought 2 pans of titanium white to give the titanium white watercolor a try. I do have Chinese white, but Chinese white isn't very good in watercolor. So I'll let you guys know how this color, if it works out okay.
The quail, Gaswina says the quail sounds like a chicago, which is really a name of a Native American tribe
I know.
That
That's
was-
Chicago.
Yeah, the actual pronunciation of Chicago is really Chicago from the Indians. It's
Right.
from an Indian tribe back in the day.
I guess so.
But no
knew that.
one says Chicago. It's Chicago. But that's from a tribe, from an Indian tribe.
No. Oh, I did not know that. You
Yep.
see, this is what I like about live streams. I learn things. I learn things on live streams. There you go.
And then in the infamous words of Chrissy and Diana, Google it.
Google it. Yeah. Google it. Yeah.
You know, 30
Google's a
years
bit like my
30
part,
years
isn't
ago, if somebody said that, they would be looking at you like you were crazy.
Yep.
it? It's like, what on earth are you on about? Yep. So I'm going in for my white gouache again. I'm going to do a couple more layers with my white gouache. Can you believe that, Diana? Since last summer, the same time, this time, last summer, I can still activate this paint because it's gouache and it just add water and hey presto.
Oh, we have a question. We have a question from Chrissy. So she said, do you need white in watercolor? She thought you just leave the paper white or you use masking tape.
Well, you can. You can do all three of them. This is just the way that I usually do things, but you can do them in that way. Yeah. You're right.
Too funny, Chrissy. Too funny.
What was it? What's that? I can't see the chat. I'm missing
Oh,
out on the chat.
Chrissy's just laughing at me and saying, "LOL, crack on, Paul." I'm on a roll. She's saying, yeah.
Crack on. Yeah, copyright. Crack on. Hey, has anybody's internet been super slow today? Like Facebook and
No.
Mine's been really slow. It's been awful. Like trying to sign in is like taking a full 8 minutes. It was pitiful. So I stayed signed in just for today because I knew I needed the StreamYard link from Diana, so I kept signed in. But maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the storms or something affecting the interweb. I don't know.
Oh, and incidentally, if Lisa, sometimes she watches your live streams, Diana, from her work desk. So if she's listening, I love you, dear. You're a pain in my butt, but I still love you.
That's
We have a question. We have a question from Carolyn. She says this might be a dumb question because she missed the beginning. She missed the beginning of the live stream, but she says she hopes this is not a dumb question because I think you paint the background before, but the main art before the main art. But are you going to paint anything else with the cherries? I don't think you have room on your paper, do you? Or maybe she means, are you going to paint a background?
well, what I'm going to do is, because the first example was really good, and I like this one too. I like both of them, but I wanted to try the circular watercolor paper, but I didn't really want to buy any more paper. So what I've basically done is made my own by I drew around a palette, a circular palette, and then I'm going to cut around it. So I'm not going to really have a background, but I'm just going to wait for this to dry before I even tackle actually cutting around the circles. So no, there won't be a background on this one. I think I've done a background on nearly every single painting lately, but
except for botanicals. Botanicals, you do tend not to put backgrounds.
Yeah. I think, I mean, again, that's personal preference. Some people, you know, like Lindsay Wyrick, the food crafter, she does a lot of botanical art, and she says she doesn't really favour the white background. She'd rather have it, you know, with a bit of colour. But again, you know, it's personal. It's personal preference. You know, it's literally, you know. I mean, in terms of this painting, the cherries are what I would call the star of the show. So, you know, I mean, there's only that amount for the background anyway. So, I'm waiting for it to dry, and then I'll cut round the circle.
Hello, Elford's Journey. Welcome. Elford's Journey, welcome. Great to see you. Oh, he's a big watercolorist. Right, Elford's Journey? You do a lot of watercolor, right?
Oh, nice. Lovely. Cool. I tell you what, guys, it's hot in this study. I mean, even with the fan on, I'm still melting. Is it hot in Barnsley, Mr. Jackson? I'm assuming that it's hot everywhere at the minute. Is Ian still there? I can't see the chat.
Oh, boy.
I'm just going to go with the gold.
Oh, yes, Elford's Journey does confirm. He paints a lot in watercolor.
Yay! I love watercolor. And
I thought but don't you really love acrylic?
I like both. I'm just going to try, try both. It's nice to have a play with different mediums every now and then. But watercolor was always my first favourite. But acrylics, I can understand why people like acrylics. They're water-based as well, so
and you can fix your mistakes easier.
You can, and the white, anything that needs to be painted white is a lot easier in acrylic than I would say in watercolor. So yeah.
Oh, Elford Journey says painting in watercolors as a matter of fact right now. And then Chrissy has a question. Are you doing another? Are you going to do another layer of cherry on the cherries before you cut it out?
I might do. I think it will. I think I will do another layer. And the paper's very, very good. It's not buckling. It's buckling a wee bit, but it's not too bad. But I haven't really put a lot of layers. I've done about 3 layers, but I will put another layer on the top just to make it a bit more shiny. But that, I'm just going to crack this on. If you're at home and you're doing this in your own time, just let the painting dry naturally, because, you know, I mean, I don't really like to, you know, to dry my paintings, but just let it, you know, let it dry naturally rather than, you can use, what are they called? Craft tool dryer, or hair dryer. They both, you know, both the same.
Yes, Caroline, or not just a rock band, maybe a Motown band, all girl with male dancers.
Yeah, Carolyn said the Cherries would be a good name for an all-girls rock band with the male dancers.
Ooh, that was too hot for me. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas, man. John, that's a killer. 103 degrees. Jeez. No way.
Chrissy has a comment. Chrissy has a comment. She says, well, did you hear Carolyn's joke?
No, I didn't. Sorry,
okay,
no.
Carolyn said the Cherries would be a good name for an all-girls rock band with male dancers. And Chrissy said the reason why she's asking you about another layer is because it would, for adding contrast.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't it funny how when you're doing like a live stream, whether you're painting or just talking on live stream, and your YouTube notifications go through the roof. You get tons of email notifications. Why is that? Oh, you know, like if you do a live stream or the telephone goes, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm not gonna cut it out now. I'm gonna go and put another layer on top, and then I will cut round the circle. Has anybody tried circular shaped watercolor painting?
Yeah, not watercolor, but I've done circular shape alcohol ink paintings and circular shape acrylic paintings.
And was
on
it different?
Canvas. I've done them on canvas.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Or maybe if
So
anybody
I've
else
just
wants to answer that question.
Yeah. So I'm going in with the red colour this time, just to make the cherries a little bit darker.
Yes, Carolyn. Yeah, Lisa, my girlfriend, she loves Motown. Every time we drive in the truck, because you know what, you know, the rule used to be when you were driving, you got to listen to your music that you liked as a driver. Well, you know, guess what? I go blind. I can't drive anymore. So each and every time I go in the truck now, I'm screwed. So I get to listen to Motown all the time. She's really not fair. She does not play fair with me.
No. I can understand that. Yeah. Then I'm going in with the gentle.
We like similar role bands. There's some bands that I like that she doesn't, and she won't let me. No, she's like, I'm not driving listening to this, you know. So it's not fair, but what choice do I have? I mean, she's just gonna let me off on the side of the road, and there goes my truck. Bye bye truck, and bye bye Lisa. And so
Yeah.
Photo paper. Are you? Oh, I have a question for me. Madonna has a question for me about alcohol inks. She says, Diana, when you do alcohol, when you paint alcohol ink on the photo paper, are you using the front or the back? I'm using the back side, not the front glossy side. I'm using the back side that does not have any kind of gloss or treatment on it. It's the back side, and I use a special paper. It's a special paper that has no logos on the back, because many photo papers have their logos on the back. So this photo paper I use comes from Canada, and it does not have any logos on the back. But I have heard of alcohol ink painters that do paint the front, but that's not how I was taught. That was not how I was taught, and I do not.
Alf Lords has a question, Diana.
It's Kirkland photo paper from Canada.
I think I'm going to get a lightning storm here, guys. I can hear rumbles of thunder.
Same here. It's very dark. The sky got very dark.
So, like, I'm not saying it will, but if I suddenly get a power cut, because I live in the country, and if you live in the middle of Nowhereville, and there's a storm, you can very often get your electricity off. I'm not saying it will, but, you know, just, I haven't, you know. Oh. Actually, to be honest, we could do with a bit of... You could do, to be honest, we could do with a thunderstorm to clear the air. It has been absolutely horrendous here.
We've had too much rain this summer, so we've had torrential rain. So I don't know that we want more rain.
Well, I have three big containers from Aldi's, and I save rainwater in them, rainwater catchment system. Because very often in England, Chrissy and Ian will know about this, sometimes if it's dragged in the summer, we have hose pipe bans. so we can't use them in the garden to water plants. So I have about 3 huge containers full of saved rainwater, and that is a really resourceful thing. And I've been using it lately. I mean, we could really do with a bit of a downpour.
Hello, Carolina Hillbilly,
The
1961. Welcome. Great, nice to see you.
hello, Caroline Hillbilly.
Yes.
Yep. I sort of know them. I've heard of them.
Yes, he has a live stream every day, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for, well, it's for networking.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, can I just give some congratulations to my family? My brother's just got a new dentist job. Yay, well done. My brother's managed to get
congratulations to him. I guess a better one than he had before. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And it's really good news because we've had such bad news lately with my mum being poorly and then one thing and another. So it's nice to have some happier news. And of course, with it being the pandemic, it's been really difficult for people to either stay in work or, you know, or if they, you know, or if they have to look for other work, you know. So well done. Yeah. I love my brother to bits, and he's a brilliant dentist. He's very, very good at his job, but I really don't like dentists. I'm sure you guys understand.
Yeah.
He's very good at it, but I don't enjoy going. But he's excellent. He's very good at what he does. So yay for good news. Have you guys got any good news you want to share? Or?
Yeah, does anybody in the chat have any good news to share?
Yeah, because you know, with the pandemic, all you hear is doom and gloom on the television news channels.
Oh my! I have good news. My
here.
frame is ready for Gus Ween's painting, so I got to go pick it up.
Ooh, very cool. Yeah, I like hearing good news. I've had so much bad news lately. It's nice to get good news. Come on, Thunder, clear the air. It's horrible for sleeping, isn't it? You know, like when it's so hot. I find it really hard to sleep.
Oh, it is. That's very hard to sleep. That's why we have air conditioning. Over here, we get the hot, humid weather so often, we have to have the air conditioning.
Yeah.
If you have a fan blowing on you, it's just blowing hot air.
Well, this is the thing. That's exactly, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's another good news. That's right, Ian. Oxos are coming. That's very good news.
Yay for the Oxo.
Very good gravy news.
Is that from the is that from the Oxo Fairy? Is that from the Oxo Fairy? Or?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes.
And thank you for still listening. Born to Be Myself. She says she's listening while she makes earrings.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, let's see. Carolina Hillbilly has
nice.
great news. Carolina Hillbilly has great news.
Yeah.
It says, I woke up this morning. That's his great news.
I hear you there. I hear you there. I woke up this morning. Yeah. I understand you there. Magenta.
There is also the standby.
Magenta.
No news is good news.
That's very true.
Chrissy wants to know, are you adding frosting to the cherries?
Am I what, sorry?
Are you going to add frosting or icing to the cherries?
Well, kind of that's the look that I was kind of going for with the Yale white wash. You can kind of see it if I lift it up gently. You might be able to see the frosting. It's kind of like frosting. So yeah, I'm probably being a bit slow with this painting, but considering what are we? Are we 6 till 7 or 6 till 8, Diana?
No, I always get your time. It's 2:16 my time. 2:16.
Right. Okay. It's 7:16 here then. Yeah. I always get time zones wrong. So just that.
Things are going to get messed up in the fall because they're talking about not set the Central Standard Time around, especially the Chicago area. They're considering of not doing the not putting the clock back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we might end up like Arizona, where they just don't change at all.
Oh, wow. Can you guys hear the rain? I don't know if you guys can hear it raining.
No.
I hear a bunch
raining
of white
quite a lot,
noise
actually.
from you. You got a lot of white noise going on, Gracie.
Oh dear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So it's probably the
It's
rain.
probably the heat.
You don't know if it's coming from her or from me.
Well, it could be from you too. All kinds of strange gremlins are in your room, Diana, making all kinds of noises.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't hear them.
It could be my guinea pig, Mr. Marmalade.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's
Yeah, blame it on the guinea pig.
That pesky guinea pig or mouse or rat chewing on her electrical cords.
Do you know what? You're as bad as Mr. Jackson for calling guinea pigs gerbils. They're not gerbils, they're guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are like big, you know, they're quite round, quite big and round. And gerbils are about that big, aren't they? They're quite small, really small. And gerbils are usually grey fur, I think. Gerbils. I don't actually like gerbils.
Yes, Gatswina, cherries for a smoothie, and you can add some vodka to it. That'll be good.
Ooh. Now don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, please. No. That would be bad. No. Oh well. Hey guys, it's my birthday coming up this month. On the
that's
18th
something to celebrate.
And guess how old I am?
42.
Well done. Yeah, I'm glad that you pay attention. Yeah. 42.
The 18th, August 18th is your birthday?
That's it, yeah. Certainly is. Yeah. 42. What happened?
What happened is you're still young.
Really? I feel. Oh no, I don't. No. I don't like me.
It's making the noise again, Diana. If you want to take another screenshot.
Okay.
It's the YouTube Gremlins pool. That's who it is. The YouTube Gremlins. Is Nightbot here this evening? Nightbot. Oh my goodness. Only on YouTube. Nightbot is, what is it? Overworked and underpaid. Just so I can see the pencil line at the circle, I'm going to use a pencil, a coloured pencil, so I can see the outline of the circle. And then I will. Would anybody, next week it's Diana. Diana will be painting next week. But the week after, would you guys like to see a watercolour painting live stream at Watercolor Wednesday, the week after next, using watercolor markers. Would anybody be interested in me showing you how to work watercolor markers? What do you think, Diana?
Oh, that sounds okay. That sounds something different.
Yeah, and they're really nice. They're a nice addition to have in your, in your art stuff. So, does anybody else in chat? Do you think you guys would be interested in demonstrating the watercolor markers? I don't have many. I only have a few, but I have a few. I have enough to show you. I'm just going to open these. This might be a bit noisy. This is my Girl Went Intense. I'm going to go for.
Yeah, John, you and I are the same age.
Carmine Pink. That's a Carmine Pink colour. So, and these are just these are water soluble pencils.
Chrissy says yes, she would like to see that.
Awesome. Okay,
And John Quinn says he'd like to see it.
Awesome, thank you guys. That's good because it'd be nice and different. Because I usually only ever use watercolor paint, acrylics, or actually I haven't done any colour pencil art for quite some time. But I usually only ever do watercolor paints or.
I'd be more interested in seeing the watercolor markers.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Ian, don't forget about Ian Friday. We resume Ian Friday this Friday.
Yay, best day of the week.
How can we forget about Ian Jackson? Really? Come on, Ian.
I know. How can we forget that, Ian? How can we forget that? It would be a Friday without Ian Friday. So I've just sharpened my pencil and I'm just going right over the.
Chrissy has to go. Bye, Chrissy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for visiting. I hope I haven't bored you all senseless.
Take care, Chrissy. Enjoy your shower.
And she says, "Nice painting, Gracie."
Thank you very much, Chrissy, and thank you for popping by. Much appreciated. Have a nice evening.
Yes, November. 62 years young, Goswina. 62 years young.
So I'm just going to cut this circle out. I don't know how to do on circular paper. The only thing I would worry about, well, it's not really worried, but you know how I like to do the white border with either the washi tape or the masking tape?
Right.
How would I do?
Hard to do that on circular.
Yeah, because I was thinking
you just have to leave it white. You just have to leave it white instead of like painting out to the edges. Just try to leave your own margin.
Yeah.
What happened to Chris?
What I'm gonna do?
She burned herself.
Oh
yes,
I saw a picture of her. She had burnt herself.
So what's with these artists burning themselves? Goswina burned herself. Chrissy burned herself. What's with these artists burning themselves?
I don't know.
It's catching. It's catching.
I would only burn myself if I was using encaustic because I have to use a heat gun and a hot plate. But I can't paint in encaustic currently.
Well, and it's different for you because you have sight problems. So that must be quite, I can understand.
That's not why I don't paint in encaustic.
Oh, okay.
I paint encaustic because I don't have the workspace or the ventilation for it. I mean, I have ventilation for it, but I don't have the workspace big enough for it. It's not because of my vision.
I hear you there.
Yes, Gaswina, reverse the number and it's 26. That's right, how you feel. But that doesn't work for me and John. You try reversing 55, it's still 55. We're both screwed, John and I.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Paul, we're all screwed. Yeah, that's it, Gracie. Keep hopeful. But I tell you what, guys, today turned out to be a really good day. I'm quite happy today. Better than the day yesterday and the day before, I can tell you. Oh yes, and thank you everybody for your prayers about my mum and everything. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
It's nice to talk about.
This is crazy. Ian even burned himself.
Yeah,
Ian has burned himself too. This is
Madonna
crazy.
burned herself on a curling iron. I have not burnt myself this year.
Wow.
Oh, that's got to hurt on a curling. Oh, ouch. Ouchie. No. I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to use a different red. Have you guys ever heard of these watercolors?
Except sunburn. I did get a sunburn this summer.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
day.
you got to be careful with sun.
One day I got a sunburn and it hurt me all day long and all evening long, and then after that I was okay. And every time I went out in the sun, I didn't get sunburned again. I was tanning.
Yeah, it does. It can, especially if you get it on your shoulders.
Anywhere can kill you. It hurts if you get it on the top of your feet. Even
when I went on holiday with my family, this is like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and this guy, he was literally, his skin was like peeling off his back because he was that sunburnt. And the idiot, right, he was still sat out in the full heat of the day, which is like, like 2-3 o'clock, which is probably a really, really hot time. And I think this was in Lanzarote, Spain, and he was still sat out 3 hours later. Now, I mean, that can't be good for like skin cancer and things like that. And I'm just like, ooh, unbelievable. There you go. There's my rant of the day, Diana and Paul.
Okay.
My rant of the day. My mini rant. So I've just dipped into another red because this looks a really nice red. Which is there. It's a really, and if I do that, you guys can see the colour. Oh, these cute, these tiny tins. They've just got 12 pans in. I've had this for quite some time. So I'm just going to add some more water. Make it really runny. Just going to add a bit of water. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit slow. I am a bit of a slow painter. But, So, what do we guys think to the round paper? What do you think, Paul?
What was the question?
And what do you think to the round circular watercolor paper rather than the just the standard square paper? Do we like it, or?
You know what? I tend to like the rectangular shape of
I
it. Not so much a square.
It's nice
not so much round. I don't know why. I just don't get into the round, but probably because I love landscapes, so they're my favorite landscapes. So landscapes are rectangular.
I mean,
I have painted seascapes and landscapes on round. They in my alcohol ink painting, and I love how they turned out. I myself I love painting on round with my alcohol inks.
Yeah. I prefer square or rectangle paper. But it was just nice just to kind of branch out and try something a little bit different. Yeah, I mean, you could do a wave maybe. You could just do like a wave and then a bit of a beach. That would be quite nice on this size paper.
But Born to Be Myself says she's now she has to start cooking. I guess maybe she's still listening. What are you cooking, Alicia? And John Quinn says that's a beautiful shade of red.
Thank you very much. It is, and these are inexpensive. They're not professional grade. I'm just trying to remember.
What's the red called?
I think they were.
What, Paul? You were breaking up.
Oh, what was the red? What was the red's name? The color?
I think it's called Brilliant Red. I think.
Okay.
I can double check that. I can double check that info. I haven't got my. I usually do swatch out charts, and I've got them in a plastic file, so I will have a look. But I think it's Brilliant Red.
Ian says it's magenta. He says you're using magenta.
Is it magenta? Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I've got the shine. I mean, if you look at cherries, if they're in your fruit bowl, they are very, very, very shiny in appearance. So I was thinking for Diana's painting next Wednesday, and then I'm painting the Wednesday after. How would you guys like to see me do a lighthouse seascape? What do you think to that idea, Paul, for next time?
That would be good.
Seascape. I'm pretty good at seascape.
You're going to do it in watercolor markers? You said you're going to use watercolor markers.
Definitely watercolor markers. Yeah.
There's
and Diana,
Diana,
you've just thought things like that. Yeah. Haven't you bought the Arteza?
I have the Arteza, a full like 64 set. I think, or it's 80, whatever, 60 or 80 of Arteza. They call them watercolor markers, but when you look at the ingredients, they call it water soluble ink.
Oh, Gaswina, you should put that on your Facebook. I would love to see that painting. Gaswina painted a waterfall landscape and a silhouette of a woman, and around the woman a silhouette. It's a night sky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
very nice. That sounds cool.
Yeah, you should post it on Facebook or send it to Messenger or whatever.
Yep, that sounds good. Just gonna have a sip of my water.
I bet you that one is real pretty.
Yeah, I like painting waterfalls. It's kind of really relaxing painting water, like if you're painting the ocean or if you're painting a waterfall. I find it quite relaxing painting.
John agrees that you should do a seascape when you paint Gracie.
Awesome, thank you, John. That's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I've got an example I can show you. I won't be doing the same painting, obviously, but I can find a. This is one that I did in May. That I think that's probably my favourite of most of my paintings lately. I did a really good job on this one. Do you guys remember this one? I'm just trying to think what medium. It was in watercolour and acrylic. So it is nice if you can mix the two art mediums together. And yeah, so I could do something similar to that one. It's lightning and thundering now, so if you hear any background noises, it's the lightning and thunder. I think I'm done, Diana. I think
okay.
yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to ruin that part of the background. I think that's just, you know, just enough. What do you guys think?
Mm.
Are we done? I think I'm done.
Yes, it looked like you're done.
Yeah. So seascapes for next time. Have you decided what you're painting next time, Diana? Or?
Yes, I think I'm painting ceramic bowls and tiles in abstract shapes with alcohol ink because I can sell them on my Etsy. I need to restock my Etsy shop. Those sold out.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Wow,
Awesome.
Goswina, that is beautiful. Very beautiful, Goswina, and very nice cherries, Gracie.
Yeah, lovely,
Thank you very much.
lovely painting, Gracie, and John is applauding.
Thank you very much. Ah, thank you. Thank you. I hope it wasn't too boring with it being a botanical, but I hadn't painted a botanical in quite a while, so I just wanted to sort of just do one botanical. Yeah. So I think I'm done, Diana.
Yeah, I guess that's yeah, Gracie's done.
Thank you for having me on panel.
And we alternate Wednesday, so next Wednesday I'll be painting.
What are you gonna do, Diana?
Oh, you weren't listening? Okay, I'll tell. She asked. I am painting ceramic bowls and ceramic tiles with abstract colors with alcohol inks because they sold out in my Etsy shop and I need to restock.
Oh,
ceramic
okay.
tiles and ceramic mini bowls, and yes, they sold out in my Etsy shop. So I'd like to create some more and restock my Etsy shop.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
My Etsy shop is not empty, but I'm saying I did. In my Etsy shop, I still have paintings on paper there and some on canvas, but I did sell out of all my ceramic tiles, which are like coasters. They're like you use them as coasters, and mini ceramic bowls that are used for putting like rings and watches in, like overnight or if you have to wash your hands. And I actually sold out of all of them, and just wanted to create some more for restocking my Etsy shop.
So you're gonna do alcohol pour? You're gonna pour
alcohol inks. We call it alcohol ink painting, but abstract shapes.
Oh, okay.
Abstract designs.
Yeah, I like abstract. The older that I get, the more appreciative I am of abstract art.
Mm-hmm.
Than when I first started painting.
And there's different kinds of abstract. There's different kinds of abstract. The abstract that I'm doing is called non-objective, meaning it's only colors and shapes and patterns and whatever, all the other things. Nothing representational in it at all. Even though sometimes I don't mean to, but all of a sudden something looks like flowers, and even though that wasn't my intent, something looks like flowers, even though all I was painting was just colors and shapes. And whereas there's other abstract art where it's not really realistic, but you can tell it's representational of something.
Yeah. Abstract art is good. I do like abstract art.
Oh, thanks, Goswina.
Thank you, guys.
Alicia says, look amazing. She goes, excellent job. It looks amazing, Gracie.
Oh, thank you, Alicia.
Oh, Elflord's Journey.
That is such a nice name.
Goswina says, great painting, Gracie. Oh, yeah, Madonna says, great job, Gracie.
Thank you, Madonna. Lovely people in the chat. Yeah. Can you guys hear the bubbling of thunder?
She's commenting on my tiles. Oh, what?
Can you guys hear the thunder?
No. Most of the time, real background noises you don't hear too much on a live stream.
Yay. That's good. Yeah. It is good. Well, that's
okay.
that's a wrap.
Okay, that's a wrap.
That's all right.
Oh, thank you for
All
being
right,
on
nice
the panel,
speaking.
Paul.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me. Take care, Gracie. Everyone in the chat, take care. All the
Okay,
best.
we'll
Okay,
same time
everyone,
next week. Same time next week. Different artists, which would be myself next Wednesday, because Gracie and I alternate Wednesdays. So, okay, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, but the next live stream on my channel will be Ian Friday. This Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ian Friday, with usually it's watercolor painting.
What's he in painting? Do you know?
I don't know. Let's
I guess
see.
we'll have a surprise.
John, yeah, hope to see you there, John. He says, see y'all Friday. Yeah, hope to see you, John.
He's probably going to paint a Jaffa cake.
You're welcome, Goswina. Hi, everyone. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.